And it's going to go on YouTube. Gotta love YouTube. Who blocks YouTube? Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. So this session is going to be about iPads. I'm going to forewarn you. Well, first off, I know in the description I wrote that we're going to incorporate Bloom's taxonomy. I tried that over summer and it just completely complicated everything. So, well, actually, no, there is application, but when you're doing a presentation, you're trying to do well, it just doesn't work. So, oh, thanks. Yeah. All right, I got a lab. Now you can really hear me. So, so I went back and I thought really long and hard, and I think the most valuable time here, present, is to do what I do best, which is present a really bang-up presentation about this device to basically make you know enough to be dangerous. All right, because if you get a basic understanding of the device, then the more you know, the more dangerous you can be, and the more proficient you are with it. So this is going to be a very, we're going to be covering a lot of very basic information. So if you're an advanced user, you might be bored. Hopefully not. All right, is it on? I'm on, so whenever you guys jack in, I'm going to be live. So I just want to forewarn you that, this isn't going to be advanced, this is your one and amazing solution that's going to make your iPad worries go away. Right? This isn't going to be that. This is going to be how to make you more proficient, how to make you more of a power user, how to give you some really simple tips and tools. And I'm going to put Mary on the spot there. Mary is she's been to a couple, my session before. How many?
Well, we did the pre-conference.
Yeah.
A couple of sessions last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's experienced my presentation, and gosh, I'm so sorry you came back. Any other repeats in here? Just out of curiosity. All right. No,
Did you do it last year?
Huh?
Last year?
Yes, I did. Yeah. In Richmond? Oh, yes, I did it last year. So there will be a lot of repeat information. There's going to be some new information, the things that I discovered since last year. But a lot of it's just the basic tips. It's already on. Is it? Yes. And it's on. I'm live. But it's not feeding. No, he just changed out the battery, so. Let me see that. Where's the other battery? Although there's no light, so I guess there's no light. Can you bring it? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay. So that's the premise. I hope you guys get a lot out of this session and really enjoy what I'm going to be able to present here. So first off, I want to point out that this entire presentation will be done on the iPad. So I'm not using any other devices, like a computer, hooked up the projector. This is completely solely off the iPad. So I want to demonstrate to you that a presentation can be done just using just this device, and you don't have you could go basically PC-less or laptop-less. I'm actually also not going to be using PowerPoint either. So death by PowerPoint. Gosh, I hate that. And oh, something happened. Yeah, death by PowerPoint. There we go. Something interrupted my feed.
There you go. You're back.
Okay. So we're not going to be doing it. So I'm going to be actually demonstrating the program. The iPad as I'm using it, accessing various apps to kind of show you how you can fluidly, dynamically change from one to another without having to just rely solely on a presentation deck. Okay. Let's go ahead. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, right. Ooh. 11. A little too loud there. All right, great. Thank you very much. So thanks for saving my voice. Okay, so this entire presentation will be just on the iPad. I'm going to be going pretty swiftly here, but if you need me to slow down, please raise your hand. And yes, you will need to do that because I will go pretty fast here. But the thing is, I wanted to expose you and get you to a certain level so that you could go into class and say, yes, I have some iPad food now to show you kids. All right, so first off, I'm going to ask a couple questions here. Anybody here still need to be convinced that tablets are useful in education? I asked this question 4 years ago when I first started presenting on the iPads, and there was still a bunch of hands. So anybody left? I'm sure that because of the session, you're not. All right, so who brought your iPads here? Okay, great, wonderful. So you're going to be able to do a bunch of things that I'm going to demonstrate to you. For the rest of you, just memorize everything I do. Okay, okay. Who here owned it but did not bring it? Oh gosh, shame on you guys! Shame, shame, shame. No, never leave your iPad home without you. All right. So who here has other tablets besides iPad? Oh, a few of you. Okay, cool. So we got some Android users, right? Kindle users, right? And things like that. All right, so just just a fair warning. This is very highly geared towards the iPad device. So just I want to let you know that you'll be able to pick up some of the tidbits, but a lot of this will be how to use this device specifically. All right, so who here has the wireless cellular on yours? Just out of curiosity, a few of you. I know most of you do have Wi-Fi only. It's nice to have cellular, isn't it? Oh yeah. All right, so we got, okay, never mind. We're gonna do it. All right, so, okay, who's here? Who is here from secondary? Raise your hands, all right. Good smattering of you. Then post-secondary. Okay, all right, I'll say third. All right, so now I need to switch to the graphic. So one of the things that I'm going to be covering is like basically what I call the 7 levels of tablet knowledge. So we start out with level 0, the practical. We're going to actually start with stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the actual use of the device, but some, a lot of like practical accessories that I feel are important that people really need to know about. And still, time and time again, I'm surprised that a lot of people don't know these accessories, so it's still important for me to cover it. Then we got level 1, obvious uses. So these are obvious uses for the iPad, and some of these things are so obvious to me that I just completely forget that most people don't know it. So this is a very important piece, and we're going to spend a good amount of time on the obvious, going beyond just the use of as email, web browser, or note taker. Then we're going to talk about apps. We're not going to spend a lot of time on apps because there's so many of them. Apps they're so numerous that you can almost find what exactly you need. So I'm going to be spending my time on multitasking apps, apps that are useful for multiple purposes, and I'm going to demonstrate a few with you today, and then just kind of show you some really useful tools, such as a lot of people use Dropbox, which is a great tool, and other tools like that. Then we got level 3. So usually I don't have time to cover it, but that's when you get into the creative web apps. So you could actually use apps to be able to start creating at that level of Bloom's taxonomy. And then the level 4 is imaginative, which is what I describe as you're taking these apps and you're reimagining them and doing something else. And then you get to unexpected uses, which is level 5, and then level 6, the savvy. So anybody here at level 6, you feel like you're a savvy user? None? Oh. Then we have level 7, the ludicrous level, which is where I'm at. Ludicrous speed. Any Spaceballers here? Anybody remember Spaceball? Back in the 80s? It's movies? Oh, dead audience, okay. I know it's going to be a tough one. Okay, so we're just going to skip this. Okay, so death by PowerPoint. Okay, I know I put this in here because it's important for you all to remember that I am not an Apple sales rep. Whenever I did this presentation in the past, you were like, you must sell for Apple. I mean, in fact, I don't even own Apple stock, which is kind of stupid of me. But I'm not a sales rep, so I want to make that point clear. I'm just a user. I'm a total fanboy, and I love these devices since they first came out. I'm actually a PC nut before, but this won me over. So I actually developed learning management systems that does online cloud-based learning. One of the big things that we do is basically utilizing formative assessments to be able to adapt to the students using an artificial intelligence matrix that actually takes questions and actually matches it to the students based on their aptitude and experience. So that's what I do. Doing something called concept-driven mastery, which is basically a mastery system that we develop. We want students to master the content, and instead of just memorizing and spitting out garbage. The only reason I bring these up is these are the 3 things that actually make me money. doing this does not make me any money. I love it because I want to share my knowledge. But like, I have a curriculum designed in culinary arts, food science, and foods and nutrition that's actually ready and deployed all online in the cloud. Students can actually log in using their smartphones or smartphones and be able to get to the content using anything. So, all right. So very first thing I want to kind of point out is this sets the groundwork of why these devices are important. It's basically a theory that I have called the entertainment versus learning. So first thing I want to point out is what you're seeing here is iconic characters here. So back in the day, you would actually as a kid sit in front of the boob tube and be entertained by these characters. So you identify with these characters Felix the cat, Mickey Mouse, Smurfs, even SpongeBob possibly. But the thing is you're being entertained. They're telling a story. You're laughing. You're being entertained, but you're being passively entertained because you're sitting there and you're taking in this information. But then you fast forward to the 90s, and then we go to this type of entertainment. The controller, the video game system. So going from those iconic characters that you identified with to these, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario, Link, Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if you recognize any of those characters. Probably Mario. Is that these kids are actually engaged with their entertainment. They're controlling the destinies of these characters, these avatars. So if they decide to jump in a hole on Super Mario and they die, well, then they learn not to do that again, right? So they're doing it repetitiously over and over again, and some of them actually go as crazy as what I do is perfect the level because I feel a challenge like that. So the reason I bring this up is because in education, we can't teach using this method anymore. We have to use this method, which is creating active engagement, utilizing the method that they're used to at home in the form of entertainment. So we do that by using these devices. These touch devices are really amazing because it enables us to be able to connect to them that way. And it really, it really speaks to them. So passive entertainment versus active engaged. We want them to control their own education destinies, and these devices allow them to do that. Okay, so let's move on to showing various things. I'm going to go over to the photo app here, and obviously this is one way you could actually use the presentation tool. So back to here. So I'm just going to basically showing photos. So instead of using what we call Keynote, which is their version of PowerPoint, I'm just going to slide through these photos. This photo here is me when I was a kid, bored out of my mind. No, actually, no, that's just a stock photo from Keynote. But actually, I was bored out of my mind. I just wanted to point out that the problem that I had was that I had ADHD when I was a kid, and I could not be engaged in schools. So I was so actually I wasn't the best kid in class. I'm a B average student. I actually flunked a math class, if you can believe it. A Chinese kid flunking a math class. Oh my God! Yeah, I never heard the end of that. So the problem I had was I wasn't stimulated enough because of the way that the system was functioning at the time for me. So because of that, I gravitated towards computers. This was actually my first exposure to computers, Commodore PET. I'm sure some of you might have recognized this little archaic device, but it actually allowed me to kind of reimagine a world where I actually type stuff in and things can happen on a computer screen. And so it was like magic. So that's what really gravitated more to that. I'm also a huge Trekkie too. So one of the things I loved was watching Star Trek, and they had these devices that you could shoot people with, but they had these handheld computers. And for back then, computers weren't even were those big gigantic bricks. So tablets have been around, and it's been in my imagination for a long time. Even Star Trek Next Generation here, you see we have an iPad-esque looking device. So these devices, handheld computing has been around for a long time, and now we have it, which is the beautiful thing. When portable computing came around, it didn't come close. These what we call bricks, right? They lasted 15 minutes, and maybe you could do a couple lines on a spreadsheet. Then we got the Palm device, and that actually started the mobile computing movement. But it was very difficult to use. It didn't have a good, useful interface, and it was only good for grocery lists and contacts, right? So so we had in 2005 coming around, we had tablet computers. They were actually really awesome. I loved them because like I was actually able to finally touch interface, or kind of touch interface with a pen, these computing devices. But they were saddled with a horrible, horrible system called Windows XP. So that didn't work out really well, but it was still great. Then the magic happened. Steve Jobs created the iPhone and then the iPad, and then other people came around and did these things. So I just kind of want to set the stage because, as humans, we are a feeling group of people. We don't like to interface using the keyboard. We don't like to interface using the mouse. We love to touch. We love to feel. And that creates a connection that's so different than the other way, than using the mouse and keyboard. So because of that, we actually create almost like a more intimate level of engagement with these devices. And that's the secret that the touch interface has enabled us to do. And really, especially help the kids because it's a natural. You give a kid an iPad, they're like, because it's a natural thing. Where like a mouse and keyboard, that's not natural. Not natural at all. So I want you to think of these devices as the Swiss Army knife of endless possibilities. That's true. You can do so many things with it. You can actually use it to cut. No, I'm just kidding. You can use it for so many things. And the thing is like, the task that you need to do is you need to spend some time and explore these tools by going to the App Store, by reading reviews, researching, Googling, going to some like other educators' blog site where they actually posted the things that they did. There's so many resources out there. It's wonderful and also mind-boggling at the same time. But remember, I'm only going to show you maybe like a few of these tools here. Where's the laser cutter? Oh no, the lightsaber add-on, right? There we go. And then and kind of get you kind of start thinking about these tools and start to kind of unlock these other ones here. So, I also like to bring up the SAMR model. Anybody here use the SAMR model? Well, SAMR is actually a really great way to think about devices. So just Google it. But basically, you think of these devices first as a substitution device. The tech acts as a direct tool to substitute something that you're already doing. That's the first step. When you're actually substituting it, that's good because you're starting to ease yourself into these devices. Like you're using this to do email. That's the first level of SAMR because instead of using your PCs, you're using it on this. Then you got augmentation. The tech acts as a direct tool substitute with functional improvements. So now you're using it, and actually you're starting to see that it's better than the other way. Then we got modification. It allows you for significant task redesign. And then redefinition, which is like when you get to the epiphany level, the tech allows you to create new tasks that were previously inconceivable. So like these devices have done so many things, like especially in music, they do so much awesome music things on these things because you can just touch it instead of like playing an instrument. Just amazing stuff. And that's what these tablets have done. And we're still exploring the possibilities of this new tool. Or actually we could say an instrument. You can make all different types of music. Okay, so let's start off with level 0. Now level 0, one of my big things is like I want to talk about some of these accessories that everyone starts off with. One of the big things is like the bag. You have an iPad bag, and basically all it is just something that stores a thin tablet. So it doesn't have to be an iPad bag. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Like this one here, this is what I carry with me all the time. This is my iPad bag, or a lot of people call it the European travel satchel. Oops, I lost my microphone. There we go. European travel satchel, right? Or some other people call it my man purse. Yes. And this is something that I keep with me all the time. Because what I love about it is like I have my iPad readily at hand, I have my accessories right here, and I quickly whip out the iPad really simply like that. So if I need it, instead of fumbling it for a bag, I just go, whoa, oh God! Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. Good thing it's fake. You can get it from Hong Kong at 20 bucks. No, sorry. So actually, when you do throw it in real life, then this is what happens. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually cracked. Well, funny story, I actually sat on it. Okay, so anyway, sorry, I had to throw that out there. But yeah, convenience is key. So if it's not convenient for you to pull it out and use it, then you're not going to incorporate it in your life. Like, laptops. How convenient was that to whip out and do some work on it and put it away? Yeah, ridiculous. You have to actually go through this ritual, plug it in, hope that a battery lasts half an hour or not, and then start working on it. So now these devices going from just something that you use for work, you use casually for virtually anything you need. So this was only about, I'm just only pointing out, it was only like, I think this is a $30 bag, so it's not even that expensive. And I had this 10 years ago. So pre-iPad, it still works. All right, so the stand is actually the next thing that's important. Like, a lot of people invest a lot of money in these like complicated doohickeys that hold the iPad. I know in school sometimes you have to mount them, which you have to do. But like, for casual use, just a simple stand like this. Anyone tell me what this is? Plate holder, picture frame holder. Collapses conveniently. You can change the angle to whatever you want. Works great on planes. $2.99, Joanne Fabrics. And if it breaks, get another one. So that's the beauty of it. Like, you don't have to think that it has to have an official label that says iPad or tablet. You could use virtually anything. Be creative. Have somebody in the wood shop make these little holders for it. They love to build these little projects. And then maybe you can sell them at a bake sale. Okay, so the next thing is the keyboard. Now, the keyboard, a lot of people buy these attachment keyboards. I like to keep mine separate because sometimes, most of the time, I don't need it. So I actually keep it, I like to keep mine separate because I don't need to saddle it with this all the time. But I know a lot of you can't touch type on that thing, but the trick with that is to not look at it. If you actually just start typing away, it actually figures out what you're trying to hit. So you don't have to actually hit the real key. Because if you hit like the letter N and then you meant to hit M and you're typing a word, it'll actually change the word for you. So it's actually smart. It tries to figure out based on where you're hitting, what you're trying to type. But the keyboard's great because I can use the on-screen keyboard to do what I need. And if I need to write a novel, I whip this thing out. And I don't travel with this very often. So I love that keyboard. It's really thin, it's really light, and it's only $70, so it's not even that expensive. I know Logitech sells one for like $100, so I can't imagine why it's more expensive than that nice aluminum one. It's kind of funny. All right, so any of you have like keyboards attached to your devices right now? I see a few of you. Yeah, it's really useful, isn't it? But it bulks up your device too. So you want to try to keep it as slim as possible. Now the next accessory is actually a very good one. Can anyone still hear me fine? Back there? Okay, good. This is actually what we call the camera connection kit. And what it does is actually, if you have an old-fashioned camera like this one and not a cell phone camera, what it does is it allows you to take the memory card out and interface it with the iPad using this device. So when you're out there, you're taking photos with a standard SLR camera, and you either have a SD card reader or one that is USB, so you can actually plug a USB version of the SD card. And if you plug it in, and let me whip out the accessory right here. What happens is, there we go. Plug it. Hmm? Nope. Oh, that is not working. Oh, it should just pop up. Must have been when I sat on it. Okay, not working right now. But what happens is it reads the card, and you can import the photos right in here. So I have like photos from my last import. So here's like pictures when I was in Peru last month. Peru. There we go. Oh, that's dark. Anyway, so I don't know why it's not interfacing. Gosh, I hate technology. Okay. So back to the presentation. So just a couple more accessories. The camera connection kit's really useful if it works. If you have a camera and you want to import photos out on the field. The next important thing is is what we call the VGA or the HDMI cable interface. Oh, I forgot to preface earlier. This entire presentation is also geared towards iOS 6. So if you guys upgraded to iOS 7, we're not going to cover any of those new features. Just by the way, just because there's probably less people with 7 than there is 6, and probably hopefully fewer 5s. So what this does is actually with the cable you can actually connect using the VGA cable to a projector and then show what's on the screen. If you have an iPad 1, it doesn't work if you still have that. It's an iPad 2 or higher, so that allows you to connect like that. Now obviously I'm not doing that because I'm wireless. And what I'm actually using is something different. I'm actually using an Apple TV to interface with this device. So an Apple TV is basically designed to be a home entertainment device, but it can actually be used for more than that. And so let me show you this. So this is the Apple TV right there. And what's different is that this is an HDMI output, and most projectors can't handle HDMI. So I have a special interface here called the ATV Pro by Canex, and I'll email that information to you. Basically what it does is it converts the HDMI signal to a VGA signal, and then can interface with it. Now, this device only came out a year ago, and prior to that you would have to find a $200–300 solution. You have to power it, but when they came out with this was only $60. So the Apple TV is $100, and this is $60. And then what you do is you just mount it like behind your television or around your projector, someplace safe, and then you could connect it wirelessly, which is what I love because I love going wireless and not being tethered to a cable. Before that came out, I had to be stuck to a cable, and that really sucked. So obviously, so right now I'm using an app. So this is like one of the obvious uses where you could use the camera with the projector and kind of use it as a document camera. So you could show really cool things like this. Or this is the VGA interface right there. So that's the ATV Pro. So that's how I'm able to connect it wirelessly. There are other devices out there, but this is so far the most reliable that I've encountered. And it's actually not that expensive. The whole entire rig is $160, which, when you think about technology, isn't all that bad. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see here. Now that we've gone over some of the accessories, I want to ask, how useful was that section to you guys? Just kind of going over those. What?
Very useful.
Very useful. All right, we got one. Cool. Yeah. I just wanted to kind of prime you with that these are creative devices that you could think of using these accessories with. There's a lot more, but these are probably some of the more important ones that I want to point out. Now, the obvious. So obvious uses besides using for email, taking notes, and the other things. I want to show you some tips and tricks that will make you a more proficient user. So the very first thing is, let's go to an app. Let's go to notes. Let's go to the new note here. Okay, so right now I'm in an app. And if you want to close your app, you hit the home button, right? Let's say you don't want to hit the home button. I don't like to hit the home button. I want to do this instead. Take 5 fingers, and then you can't see it on there, but you can shrink and close the app just by using 5 fingers. Try it out. If it doesn't do that, then you need to enable it in the settings. Most iPads can do that automatically, but if it's not, some people have it turned off. You find it in general. Oops, I wonder why. You're on. Okay, good. It's a little lagging here. Right now I'm actually connecting through, normally you would have a better Wi-Fi infrastructure because if you're using the big devices, I'm using this wireless to be able to connect from here to this, to that. So that's why I'm seeing a little lag. But if you were on a regular gigantic network, it doesn't matter what the internet speed, it's how you're connecting the 2 devices simultaneously, you'll have better experience. So you find that down here under multitasking gestures. There you go. If it's not turned on, oh, I hear Siri. Hi, Siri. So that's how you turn it on if you don't have it. Now, it actually allows you to do more than that. 5 fingers. Let's go to the next app. So I just swiped, and I just swiped over to that one. You can go back again, just like that. So, just that little trick allows you to be able to just be a little more proficient. Yes?
So that just froze it?
Oh, really? Oh. Well, then that's weird. Turn it off. turn it off and turn it back on again. Did you restart the computer? Sorry, that's an old IT joke. IT crowd. IT crowd. Are you not able to? All right, do you know how to hard shut it down? Okay. Yeah, by holding down the home button and the power button, if you ever get in a stuck situation, you hold it down for about 8 seconds, it'll completely power it down no matter where you're at. Okay, so just like that, you could switch between apps, like so, just like that. Now there's another gesture you can use. You know how when you double tap the home button, it pops up this toolbar here? Well, let's just pop it up like that. Now in iOS 7, it's different. So they do it just with just a swipe up now. But for everyone else, we use these multitasking gestures, which actually I kind of prefer because like when I'm using the iOS 7, I accidentally knock that thing up anyway. So it's kind of counterintuitive. All right, so once you have that up, you know that you can go to the other apps that you've opened recently. But if you swipe over to the left, you get to a control panel where you can actually adjust the brightness, the volume, and if you're playing media. In this case, I have this extra button here. Now this button actually is the one that I choose to allow my interface to the Apple TV. So if there's an Apple TV and you're on the same network, it'll automatically pick it up and say, do you want to do mirroring, which is what I'm doing right now, mirroring. Okay, now, next really useful tip. You know how when you're using the device and you're like, okay, oh, wait, oh, it keeps flipping on me, right? And you know you have to turn it off by turning off the rotation, which you do by going over here and this button shows the rotation. See, right now this switch here is set to mute. Now, honestly, I think a mute button on a phone is very useful. But on this, how often is it gonna chime at you or someone gonna call you on your iPad, unless if you use it for FaceTime a lot. So what I did was I changed it so that instead of having it mute, now it locks instead. So I can lock it, unlock it, rotate, lock it, unlock it, rotate, and it's a much more useful function. Now to do that, all you have to do is change the setting over here. It's under General again, and right here, iPad, oh no, sorry, not down here. Use slide switch to lock rotation. Funny thing is, when iOS 5 came out, that was the default setting. Then iOS 5.1 came out and they defaulted to this, probably because somebody complained that their iPad rang. So that's how you can lock it, so that you can quickly switch between portrait and landscape without having to go to all these different menus to do that. Really nice. I need some water. Okay, another really useful trick. Let's go here to notes. Now when you're typing without real keyboard, you're using the on-screen keyboard. You want to let's say do let's type blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, let's say you want to type capital K. So normally you have to hold down the Shift key and then hit K. So I'm holding it down and hit K. That's capital K. Or capital O, like that. But you can also double tap it to do a caps lock, right? Now here's another thing something that, so you probably already know that, but here's something that you probably don't know, is this. I want to do a capital K. Or actually, let's do question mark. So instead of hitting Shift, then question mark, let's do it this way. Drag.
Didn't see.
There you go. So what I'm doing is instead of tapping Shift and then tapping question mark, I just do that. And I created a question mark, just by dragging from the Shift key to the question mark. So I can do capital K, capital G, capital P, capital F, just like that.
Swipe it.
Yeah, just swipe it over and then it'll create the tab. You also know that you can also get to alternate characters by holding down on the character. So if you want to do like an accent note, there we go.
Do that again?
Oh, hold down on a letter and you'll get alternate versions of it.
Fire.
You can also do that with the numbers too. So you, instead of having this and then hitting 5, you go, okay, let's do 5. Oh, let's do. There we go. Oh wait, I'm working on numbers. It was going. So I could go to like a special character just by doing the swipey thing. All right, pretty cool. You like that tip? Yeah. All right. Now, some of you might notice that I have this globe thing down here. Anybody else have that globe thing down there? A few of you. Now, at one presentation, I was just all alone, and somebody said, "What the heck is that?" I'm like, "Oh wait, that's an obvious thing I forgot to mention." What it is oh, excuse me. Lunch didn't go down very well. Is that it actually you can install alternate keyboards, such as this one, which is the Emoji Keyboard. Ooh, my crops are ready to be harvested. So it's really cool because you have all these different characters. So if you're writing text messages or anything in your document, you can go into these different icons. Or if you wanted to, you could write Chinese. Okay, so to get to that, going back to the settings. Oh, I hit the home key. Silly me. You go back on the general. You go down here where you see keyboard. You hit that. And right now, I have, click on keyboards. Right now I have English, emoji, and Chinese simplified. So if you click on new keyboard, then you can select a whole different character. That doesn't work. Keyboard set. So that's how you can get to that. It's just a cute little tip. It has absolutely no educational value whatsoever, but hey. So everyone got yes.
So I've got a smartboard in my classroom. Can the smartboard interact with the?
No, because because the smartboard is a PC interface and it has to have drivers and all that kind of stuff. So there's right now, as of now, and probably forever in the future, there will be no direct interface between. Although, if you install a iPad controlling app on your PC, where you're viewing, it's kind of a weirdly weird way to set up it. So basically, you're seeing your iPad screen on your PC, and your PC is hooked up to the iPad, and then you're controlling it that way. You could do that. It's kind of a weird setup, but that's the only way I could creatively think about doing something like that. Yes?
So where'd you get the smiley faces?
Oh, it's called Emoji. It's up top.
Is it in there or do you have to download the app?
No, it's in there, but right now it's not showing up because I already have it installed. It's called Emoji, or Emoji. Sorry, I forgot to mention. It's called Emoji. Yeah, everyone's like, what kind of language is emoji? Smiley face, exclamation point, splat. Okay.
That doesn't offer a translational, like if I type an English word, it's written in Spanish?
No, it doesn't translate. So basically it's a keyboard set. But if you want to do translate, there's a really awesome app called Google Translate. So since you brought it up, I'll pull it up here. Let's see. Oops.
What iPad are you using?
What was that?
What iPad are you using?
This is the newest one, other than the one that's going to recently come out, which I'll probably get. So this is the 4th generation right now. Oh, my connection failed. The Wi-Fi network. Interesting. There we go. All right, so so here we go. Here's one translation. I translated "Welcome, students," and this is called Google Translate, which is using the Google Translation services.
And how does
You download it from the App Store. So that's an app that you have to download. We're kind of jumping ahead to apps, but it's okay. Wonder why. So basically I translated from English to Spanish, but you can choose all these different languages. And the cool thing is you can speak it. I can speak Chinese in here. And then it'll actually translate it really, really well. Why is it not speaking? Yeah, well, maybe I need to move this a little further away. Yeah, every time I hit translate, it kicks me off. That's weird.
Don't hit it no more.
yeah. All right, no more translations. Okay, so that's called Google Translate. All right, so those are some. Oops, I don't want to do that. Those are some of the very useful, like obvious things, tips on how to, just be proficient, be more proficient. Just by doing that, you could like swipe between the different apps, and then you can go here, to the next one, and then so on and so forth. Okay, I showed you the camera app, which you can use as a document camera. So I'm going to show you a couple of really, really great apps. One is called Goodreader here. Now, Goodreader is a document reader. It's a $5 app. It's probably one of the only ones that it costs money that I'm going to recommend. And what it does is it allows you to read multiple formats. It even reads zip files. So here, I have all these different documents, PDFs, Word documents, and it actually interfaces with Dropbox, Google Drive. So you actually, what it does is it offlines those documents, so you can actually read them without it wireless. So a lot of these services, such as Dropbox, Google Drive, and all and these other cloud services require an active connection. So what you do is you download it to an offline service like this, so that you could actually access it. So here is the executive director's report. And it has really cool features, like you could annotate on it. So I'm highlighting and then drawing, changing the color, whatever, cancel. And then so it's probably better if I do that, but it won't work. So so it reads multiple formats. It actually allows you to unzip files, and it's very powerful. And one of the best things I love about this is that it's more than a document reader. They have this one cool feature down here. Looks like a little Wi-Fi icon or waves. And what it does is it actually turns your device into a wireless server. So if someone else is on the internet and they want to get to my documents, all they have to do is, if they're on the same network, type in this address, and then they can access my Goodreader folder and pull whatever files they need. So this is just in case if you don't have the ability to email or do cloud syncing or whatever. It's just a really cool, powerful tool.
Kind of like AirDrop?
Kind of like AirDrop, yeah. Actually, AirDrop is before AirDrop came out, this was the only way that was very easy to do that.
And how did you get to that?
This is an app called Goodreader. Goodreader. Looks like an eye with a folder, and it's green. All right. The next one. So I was going to talk briefly about the Apple Productivity Suite. Keynote, Pages, and Numbers. Those are the iPad equivalent of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Now, when I started out with Keynote, basically it's the equivalent of PowerPoint, but it's really cool because it's designed for the touch interface really well. Those are they are expensive. They are $10 each. I know you can get education discounts for these apps, but they're really well done. Now there's other alternatives like Docs2Go or Office. What's that other one called? There's so many. Office HD that are they sell you the whole suite for like $20. But the thing is they're not as well crafted as the ones that Apple made. So I've used them. They work, but they're a little clunky. I mean, to get the job done, I could actually create really nice, awesome PowerPoints really quickly and easily using my iPad, using Keynote, Pages if I want to write a document. That's not just in the Notepad. I mean, Notepad's good. You could write in it, but if you want to do formatting and some additional things, Pages would do that really well. So another really awesome app that I think everyone should have in their arsenal is this one right here. It's called Speed Test. Now, Speed Test is a utility, and what it does is allows you to test your network infrastructure. Whenever I walk into a room that I don't know, or if I'm trying to do a presentation, I hit this thing first because I want to find out what I'm dealing with. So if the number is really low, then I'll know that not to play media files streaming off the internet. So I already know what to expect. So here, I got pretty good connection. So that means with 7 megabit, that means I've got pretty much a good broadband speed. So I can do streaming videos and whatnot without too much of a pickup. So it's always a good thing to run, no matter where you're at, just to kind of see, okay, what am I working with? Like sometimes I might be in a hotel Wi-Fi and it's like down to like, instead of like 7, it'll be 0.7. I'd be like, no, I'm switching over to a different network. So it's a good way to find out. I think that every single person should use this tool because it allows you to be able to know what you're dealing with so you're not sitting there forever on a really slow trickle connection. Okay, so everyone already knows Dropbox, right? Yes, go ahead.
On the notes, when we have so many documents, can we make a folder like we do on the PC?
No, the Notepad feature, you cannot create folders. It's designed to be very simple. It's not designed to be a complete productivity suite where you can do all this organization. It's just really the intent was like for you to just take quick notes with it. So that's why they don't do all this extra organization features that you probably want. And so in other words, download something else. There's a lot of other free apps that allow you to do notes, just like that. But the one that Apple provided was just like kind of like enough just to get by.
What was the name of the one just before Speed Test?
Oh, Goodreader?
Goodreader.
Yes.
Oh, no, it was Goodreader. There was one between there. Was it Keynote?
Oh yeah, I was talking about keynotes, pages, and numbers.
Okay.
3 different ones.
Those are
Oh, there are
those are
three.
3 separate apps.
Okay.
Each $10. And actually, I didn't buy numbers because I don't crunch spreadsheets. So I only use Keynote and Pages.
Okay.
All right, so man, time is flying, isn't it? We got 15 more minutes. Are you guys having fun? Yeah. All right. So we got some more awesome stuff I want to show you here. Another one. I love this one. This one's actually a $5 app. It's called Air Video. Now, what Air Video does is allows me to wirelessly connect to my PC and actually stream videos right off the hard drive. So what happens is on my PC, I installed an application, which then I told it, look at this folder called Videos. So here's the folder called Videos. So I'm actually interfacing. I'm actually connecting to my PC at home. And because of that, I can actually come over here wirelessly and say, I want to play this video. Now, if you're on a local network, it's really fast because it's not going through the internet, through your cellular. But here, this one's going through the cellular.
Mom, calm down. Listen to me. I know it says click with the mouse, but on a laptop, the trackpad is the mouse. Now, put your finger on it. It doesn't matter which finger. Good choice. Now, move it down to your email icon. The little envelope. What do you mean, what does it look like? It looks like an envelope! Fine, but don't like the computer, don't use it. Sure, we can exchange it. A salad spinner. Goodbye.
So, because I have this interface, I love Big Bang Theory. Because I have this interface, I'm actually able to access my video library right off the hard drive from my iPad. So a lot of people like have these flashlights where they're having problems using with the iPad. Hopefully they're doing the digital transition to HTML5, which they should be because Flash is an archaic coding structure made, let's say 12 years ago. It was great for back then, but not for mobile. But anyway, so if you have the files on your hard drive, then you'll be able to access all those videos and whatever you want, audio files, and get to it. So let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, the Colbert report.
It just provides access to your whole hard drive, not just necessarily.
Oh, you can specify specific folders, not the whole hard drive. You can do the whole hard drive if you want to.
Does it work from your Mac at home? You mentioned use it for your PC.
Oh yeah, Air Video is the PC equivalent, but they also have a Mac version as well. Yeah, so it all depends on which one you want to interface. There's a lot of them out there, but that one's the one I tested and I really like the most. Yes?
Okay, real quick about your Keynote. You said you were able to do your Keynotes on your iPad. And my problem
Do a theme?
On my iPad, I can't create themes, so I have to go and then email it to myself, open it up, send it off to myself.
Well, I mean, themes, they have their
Like
preset.
the actual, the color, I mean, how did you?
I had to email to myself. Yeah, I mean, they have, but the thing is you can set background. So if you have a background image in your images folder, then you can use that as a background. But the thing is it doesn't do themes like you want it to do themes. So I actually just I just take that same slide. So here's the slide here. And I just go, okay, here, let me copy it, and then let me paste it again. Let me paste it again. Let me paste it again. Yeah. Now, I love image manipulation because it automatically centers it. You can you can make it smaller. You can.
What program is this one?
This is Keynote. So, getting back to Keynote. That's good. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Facebook. Oh, must have. I'm just kidding. So is Angry Birds. Oh, so the most important page of all. Games! This is my games page. I just kind of want to show you. These are all the wonderful games I don't have time to play. Another one that's really useful, but I can't show right now because it's a very very powerful app. It's called Reflector. Reflector. And what it does is it allows you to be able to display your iPad on your computer. They're not interface with it, but so basically it's another way to get around and not have this specific device. So it's an application that actually takes whatever I have on here, goes to the PC wirelessly, and then you go to the projector interface. So the only reason I mentioned this is because this is a good, off the shelf. You're not down to the PC type of solution. Reflector's I think $10 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just search for it in the App Store. In fact, why not? Let's do that. Search for it in the App Store. Oh, I can't write Chinese there. Oops. There we go. And so it's a way to get around this by going through the PC like such. So
There's a free one.
yeah, they have free, but then they make you pay for some extra service. So oops, that's not it. Did I just type? No? Where the heck is it? Okay, now it's not there anymore. All right, now I have to do some research and find out what the heck happened to that app. But it was a great app, and they yanked it. So, moving forward. So I showed you our video. Another really awesome one in the education sector. Has anyone used EduCreations before? Yeah, EduCreations is a really awesome app because what it does is it allows you to record drawing, and then as you're drawing, you can narrate it, and then it's kind of like you can kind of you're doing this is 2 + 2, and then a student can play it back, or vice versa. Let's say a student is working out an equation, so they record them doing it, so you're actually watching them, do work the word problem out, and you can hit back and hit play, and you can see them doing the actual work. So so I can record this da 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 da, and then I hit play. And let's start over. And then oops. So 2 + 2 = 8. No, it's not really 8, it's actually 7. All right, and then let's draw a question mark because the 7 looks like a question mark. And then you can play it back. So, oops. Done, save lesson, give that title, private. No. Okay, so then here's that one created, and here I am drawing. So 2 + 2 = 8. Now it's not really 8, it's actually 7. All right, and then let's draw a question mark because the 7 looks like a question mark. There we go. So it's a really useful tool. It's free. That's a wonderful thing. It's free. Now, EduCreations, and but here's another one. Explain Everything. Explain Everything is $5. Explain Everything is 17 times better than EduCreations. 17 times better. I made that number up. But the thing is, I like this one because you can do so much more. with the lecture. This is a very simple tool. It gets the job done. But if you spend $5, gosh, there's so much more you can do with it. Just read the reviews and the apps, but like, this is really cool.
Explain everything, this one is code.
Explain everything. So this one's like,
All you do is at least one piece at a sport. But before that, here's a division part. You got what times 4.
and what I did was like, when I was recording this, someone was lecturing, so I was drawing on it, and then I recorded it, then I uploaded it to YouTube right from the app. So actually, let's rewind.
From that point, we give them the number. Now we go a little further back. We go.
This is explaining like basically like gallons, quarts, pints, how to divide it. Just some teachers lecture about that as a creative way to show like 4 quarts in a gallon, two pints in a quart, and whatever. So, but the thing is, there's so many more tools here that you could do a lot more creative stuff if you wanted to. So education's free. Explain everything. $5. Price of a cup of coffee from Starbucks or Frappuccino.
How do you spell education?
Edu Creations. So EDU Creations. Ooh, my boat's arrived. Okay, so we have like 5 more minutes. So another really great one I want to just kind of cover is like this icon here. It says student and teacher. This is called Socrative. Socrative is basically an app that it can be downloaded on the iPad, but also on Android phones as well, and the interface of the PC. And what it is it's a replacement for those clickers or student response systems. And what it does is you can actually set up quizzes and then have people use this. Oh gosh, I'm not logged in right now. So let's go ahead. Password is a secret.
You're off.
Yeah, I turned it off on purpose so you can see my keyboard typing.
Because it's a secret.
There we go. All right, so here we go. Now I'm logged in, and now I'm back. Okay, so here, like you can, it's very simple choices. True, false, multiple choice, short answer, and then you can start the quiz. You can make it self-paced. You can make it timed, and then when the students they enter into your room number, so when they download the app, they type this number in, and then they'll interface with it. It's another free app, so it's really cool. It's one that I've seen demonstrated, and it works a lot better than some of the other ones I've seen out there. I'm sure there's other ones that do the exact same thing, but this is the one that I would recommend using. What? No, I did student so I could kind of play around with it. Yeah. So they have 2 apps, student and teacher.
So your students have to download the student app?
Yes. Yes.
Teacher.
And then the teacher, you create an account, and then you create these quizzes, and then you'll see the answers displayed on top.
What's the name?
What was that?
Socratic?
Socrative. 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 S-O-C-R-A-T-I-V-E. Let's see if that's in the App Store. And remember, rely on the reviews, because the reviews tell it all. People say if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. So here's Socrative. And it's got 166 4-star reviews. And there we go.
That's really cool.
Okay. All right, so other things like Dropbox and Google Drive. So here's Google Drive. Basically, both of them do roughly the same thing. I like Google Drive better because you can actually edit the documents, write it from the app. So what it is they're cloud-based apps. And like Dropbox, have they raised their limit yet? Because I signed up for them a long time ago. Back when it was only like 2 gigabytes. I don't know if it's still 2 gigabytes or not, but Google gives about, I think they're up to 15 now for free. So the cool thing about Drive is that you can put video files, you can put documents, and then you can also share and collaborate, all these things. So I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just pointing it out because if you're not using Google Apps, this is a great way to be able to allow students to collaborate on documents, share documents with you, and they're basically working on a file that's in the cloud, so they don't have to download it. That's the beauty of it. They could just go and log into their account, and then there's the file right there. So they don't have to be stuck on a PC, this one, or they have to carry a thumb drive around. It's all saved in the cloud. So,
Unless they drag it out.
huh?
Unless they drag it out.
Unless if they drag it out, yeah. All right, so that's that's Google Drive and Dropbox. So they're two cloud-based solutions that allow you to save stuff. Now Pocket, we'll point this one out. Pocket is basically an offline news reader. So basically, if you see an article on your computer, or if you see an article on the device, you can actually put it in your Pocket. And what it does is it downloads a offline version, like this one here. And what it does is it just pulls the text and allows you to read it if you're not connected to the internet or stuck on a plane. So that's Pocket. All right, anybody have anything to share? Because I've done a lot of talking, but anyone have anything to share that you've used that you found useful in the classroom?
Actually, I have another question.
Okay, another question.
But it was a student turned me on to it. It was called, I think, Notability.
Oh, Notability, yeah, that one. I haven't used it that much, but I've read some really good stuff about it.
To mark up documents and so forth.
Yeah, Notability is basically a document markup tool, and
You have to have it?
I don't think I do.
It's a
No, I don't.
note-taking tool.
Note taking. It's also a note taking tool, yeah, where you can actually record the lecture as you're taking notes. I haven't had much experience with that one specifically, but I've heard about that one.
Okay.
I don't have it.
You could use the iPad as a mouse.
Oh, the iPad is a mouse? Oh, with Notability?
No, it's a different app.
Oh, well, yeah, using the iPad as a mouse interface, yeah. Yeah, actually, they have stuff like, you can use it with the iPhone too, so basically it turns into a gigantic trackpad. Poplet is another good education tool. Poplet, and what Poplet does is it allows you to design mind maps like this. So, and it's a paid app as well. It's free, but if you want people to connect to it, it costs, I think, $5. Everything's $5. Oh, no wonder. Silly me. There we go. All right, so we're at like, minus 1 minute now. So I see that you guys are still like, you're not rushing out, which is a good thing. Well, actually, there's nothing else going on after this, right? I could keep rambling on if you want me to. You probably don't want me to. So Poplet is a really good one to do building like this kind of stuff. Let's put a plus here, linkage here, and then let's put an image in here.
How many does it let you save for free?
Good question. I haven't tested that one out thoroughly. I was turned on to it by another teacher, so camera roll. There we go. Ta-da! Let's add some text. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but Prezi is like this thing that like lets you move it around. This is more like just designing a.
And also, can we create a folder, like if we have so many documents, put it in a folder?
For Poplet?
No, any other app or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, GoodReader allows you to create folders. So that's a good point. I never thought about that. So here I have like folders here, and then I can. There's actually like really good management tools, just like on a PC. So let's create a new folder, and then there's the folder, and then let's take these documents here, and then let's boot it.
If it's PDFs, you can organize different iBooks. I mean, the reader, you can put different sections. You can make folders. Yeah, under iBooks, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that on iBooks, but so this one allows you to.
Make
The regular iBook app allows you to do that as well. So you can read PDFs in the iBook app as well. But you can't do like markups and things very easily.
Have you ever seen Gliffy?
What?
Gliffy?
Gliffy? No. What is that?
It's a flow charting software for logic or computer programming.
Oh, cool.
You can make any sort of diagrams.
All right. Gliffy for flow charting. Okay. Gliffy.
Gliffy. G-L-I-F-F-Y.
G-L-I-F-F-Y. Okay. So, yes.
What's the range on the Apple TV to iPad?
It's whatever your wireless network range is. So you have to have a wireless signal from your router. So this is my wireless single router. So this one has, I don't know what the exact range on it, but I think it's like 40 or 50 feet or something like that. Most Wi-Fi's are can be much bigger.
So it's not just Apple TV and iPad, it's
Oh yeah, you have to have
TV,
a
iPad router.
router. Yes, you're going through a wireless network. So so thank you all for coming. If you want to continue discussion, you're welcome to stay. I could just ramble on, but I wanted to kind of give you a good exposure, give you some good tips to make you a more proficient user. Hopefully you'll be able to translate that and be able to show some really good iPad food to your students. You know, you got some really great tips that I gave you with just how to manage and use it. And I hope you all have a great conference. I've got a session tomorrow. Don't forget to sign up sheet. We have here. We're going to email the presentation notes and everything. And thanks. I got my flip classroom session tomorrow where we're going to be talking about how to flip your class. Thank you very much. Yes.
Tell me again. I want to